Hello friends, let's do a short yoga practice for the lower back. You'll want to come down to lying on your back on your mat. And as you come down onto your back on the mat, draw both knees in toward your chest. Resting one hand on each knee, we're going to roll the knees around in a circle. And then roll around the other way a few times. Bringing your knees back to center, keep your right knee hugged in, and extend your left leg onto the mat. The left foot flexing as your right knee hugs. Press your shoulder blades down into the floor to broaden your chest. Take a few deep breaths into your belly so that when you inhale, you can feel your lower back pressing into the floor. Use your left hand to guide your right knee across the midline of your body, rolling onto your outer left hip and extending your right arm out behind you. Let yourself breathe. And then let's bring the knee back up to center. And we'll swap out the legs. Right leg extending, left knee hugging, shoulder blades rooted against the mat. 3 deep belly breaths. Use your right hand to guide your knee across the midline of your body, rolling onto the outer right hip and extending your left arm out behind you. Holding and breathing. And then making your way back to center, let's hug both knees in toward the chest, resting one hand on each knee. As you inhale, let your knees move forward. As you exhale, hug the knees back in. 3 more breaths, slow and steady. Long, deep inhale as the knees move forward. Long, leisurely exhale as the knees hug in. Allowing both feet to come down to resting on the mat. Walk your feet until they're mat distance apart. And extend your arms either straight out to the sides or above your head like a V shape on the floor. As you exhale, let your knees lower down to the right. On your inhale, draw your knees back up. On the exhale, we'll lower down to the other side. Inhaling back up. Move with your breath as you exhale, lower to the other side. On the inhale, returning to center. One more twist to each side. As your knees come back up to center this time, let's walk the feet to about hip distance apart. Let your hands come down by your hips. We'll cross the right ankle over the left knee. And we're looking for a stretch in the hip here. You can either press your right hand against your inner right thigh, like you're pushing the thigh away from you. Or you could lift your left foot and interlace your fingers behind your left thigh or your left knee. Gently hugging the legs toward the upper body. Root your shoulder blades down into the mat to keep your chest and back open. Breathing into your belly here so that when you inhale, you can feel your lower back expanding against the ground. Let's swap the legs, coming into your stretch on the other side. We'll release and hug both knees in toward the chest. And we're going to guide the knees around in circles again, but this time with one hand on each knee. You're going to take each knee in its own circle. So the knees come wide and around, together, toward the chest, out to the side, forward, and back. Can explore a range of movement. Let's go around the other way. Good. And then we'll allow the soles of the feet to come down to resting on the mat about hip distance apart. We'll finish our practice with a gentle pelvic tilt with the breath. As you inhale, you're going to press your buttocks down against the floor, and you'll feel your middle back lift up. As you exhale, curl your tailbone under like you're going to lift your hips, but not quite. Let your back flatten. As you inhale again, pressing down through your tailbone and your upper buttocks. And on the exhale, curl the tailbone under. It's okay to lift the hips slightly here if that feels good. On the inhale, pressing down, let the middle back hollow out. Exhale, curling under. Three more breaths. and release. You might consider finishing your practice by resting your lower legs in the seat of a chair, or taking a legs up the wall pose, or sliding a couple of blocks under your knees so that your knees are elevated over your hips. I hope your lower back feels extra happy.